The WNBA is exactly 96 hours away from a total shutdown. We have the leaked details on why 98% of players just voted yes to a strike, and why Napheesa Collier is calling out leadership by name. If you think this is just about money, you are only seeing the surface. What is happening behind the scenes is a full-scale civil war between the women who build the game and the executives who think they own it. Look at this deleted reply from 2 a.m. on Tuesday. A veteran player responded to a post about the league's record revenue with 3 words: respect our value. It was deleted within minutes, but the message was sent. The players aren't just asking for a raise anymore. They are ready to walk away and let the baskets gather dust, if that is what it takes to break the system. This isn't a drill, and it isn't just another labor dispute. This is the ultimate reality show where the stakes are a $2 billion industry. The narrative the media is pushing is that the league is thriving, that the arrival of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has fixed everything. But the reality is much darker. The internal polling among the Players Association reveals a level of toxicity we haven't seen since the league's inception in 1997. We are going to reveal the real timeline, the deleted evidence, and the locker room fallout that has the 2026 season hanging by a thread. The smoking gun in this investigation isn't a spreadsheet. It's a quote that sent shockwaves through the locker rooms. During a high-stakes meeting, the union described the league's latest offer as putting lipstick on a pig. They claimed the proposal was a retread of a broken system that intentionally undervalues the players. When you hear phrasing like that, you know the bridge isn't just burned, it's been nuked. The players are looking at a new $2.2 billion media rights deal and then looking at their own bank accounts, and the math isn't mathing. To understand why 98% of the league is ready to strike, you have to look back at where this started. This isn't just about the 2024 season. This beef goes back years, rooted in the college rivalries that define the modern era. When Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart were dominant at UConn, they were promised a professional future that looked a certain way. They were told that if they built the product, the investment would follow. But for a decade, they watched as the league flew them on commercial flights, forced them to share hotel rooms, and paid them salaries that barely covered rent in major cities. Then came the new wave. The arrival of the 2024 rookie class changed the leverage. Suddenly, the WNBA wasn't just a niche league, it was a cultural phenomenon. But instead of the old guard feeling threatened by the rookies, something unexpected happened. The veterans and the rookies unified. They realized that the league was using the rookie stars as a shield to avoid paying everyone else. Napheesa Collier's recent comments about Commissioner Cathy Engelbert were the final spark. Collier didn't hold back. She called the leadership the worst in the world. She detailed a private conversation where Engelbert allegedly told her that players should be on their knees thanking the league for the media deal. Think about that phrasing, on their knees. That is the kind of language that triggers a revolution. Collier also revealed that when she suffered a season-ending injury, she didn't get a single call or text from the commissioner. Instead, she got a message from the league office saying they didn't believe physical play contributed to injuries. Imagine being an all-WNBA player, putting your body on the line for the shield, and being told your injury isn't the league's problem. That is the moment the strike became inevitable. The forensic evidence on social media backs this up. Look at the likes on A'ja Wilson's Twitter page. She has been liking posts that highlight the pay gap between WNBA stars and bench warmers in the NBA. She has been liking posts that criticize the lack of accountability for officials who let the games get dangerously physical. This isn't just social media noise. This is a paper trail of a locker room that has lost all faith in the front office. The league tried to play damage control. They offered a new proposal that they claimed would make several players millionaires. They talked about a maximum salary of $1.1 million. On paper, that sounds great, but the union saw right through it. They realized the $1 million number was a cap, not a guarantee. They realized it was tied to a revenue-sharing model that the league still controls with zero transparency. The union wants a 50-50 split of basketball-related income, just like the NBA. The league is currently offering less than 10%. When you're generating hundreds of millions in new revenue and offering the talent a tiny slice of the pie, a strike is the only card left to play. But there's a secret weapon the players have this time they never had before: Unrivaled. The 3-on-3 league founded by Collier and Stewart is more than just an off-season tournament. It is a proof of concept. It proved that players can run their own business, secure their own funding, and pay themselves six-figure salaries for just a few weeks of work. Unrivaled is essentially a life raft. If the WNBA locks the players out in 2026, the stars don't have to go overseas to Russia or Turkey anymore. They can stay in the States, play in their own league, and keep the fans' attention. This has the WNBA executives terrified. They used to have all the leverage because they were the only game in town. Now they're looking at a roster of stars who have their own platforms and their own income streams. The physicality on the court in the last season was a major factor. We saw hard fouls that went beyond basketball. We saw rookies being targeted and veterans being ignored by refs. The players believe this isn't just bad officiating. They believe it's a lack of investment in professional standards. If the league won't pay for the best refs, if they won't protect the players from injury, why should the players protect the league's reputation? Look at the body language in the tunnel walks. We saw players wearing shirts with cryptic messages. We saw teammates huddled in deep conversations that had nothing to do with the scouting report. There's a sense of us versus them that has permeated every corner of the WNBA. The locker room fallout from the strike vote has been intense. We've heard reports of heated debates between players who are worried about their 2026 paychecks and those who believe a short-term sacrifice is necessary for long-term survival. But in the end, the vote was nearly unanimous, 98%. You don't get that kind of consensus unless the anger is universal. Caitlin Clark's role in this is the ultimate wildcard. While she hasn't been the most vocal on the front lines of the union, her presence is the reason the stakes are so high. The league knows they can't afford to lose her for a single game. The sponsors are paying for her, the networks are paying for her, but the veterans are making sure she understands that the system she entered was built on their backs. There was a moment in a game late last season where a veteran was seen whispering to Clark after a particularly hard foul. Our lip readers suggest she was saying, "This is what they think of us." It was a moment of initiation. It was a reminder that no matter how many commercials you have, you are still a worker in a system that wants to minimize your cost. The receipts don't lie. Look at the WNBPA's official statement after the vote. They didn't use the standard corporate jargon. They used words like demand and earned. They posted a video with the caption, "It's a business." That is a direct shot at the people who try to frame the WNBA as a charity or a passion project. The players are saying, "We are the business. Without us, you have empty arenas and dead airtime." As we approach the deadline, the tension is at an all-time high. The league is trying to paint the players as greedy, hoping the fans will turn on them. But the fans are smarter than that. They see the private jets the NBA players fly on, and then see the WNBA stars dealing with airport security and delayed commercial flights. They see the billionaire owners crying poor, while their franchise valuations triple overnight. The New York Liberty went from being worth $10 million to nearly $500 million in 5 years. You can't tell the players there's no money when the equity is exploding. What happens next will define the next 20 years of women's sports. If the players strike, the 2026 season could be shortened or canceled entirely. This would be a disaster for the league's momentum, but it might be the only way to force a real partnership. The old guard versus new wave narrative has merged into a single unified front. The veterans have the experience and the union leadership, while the rookies have the cultural capital and the massive social media followings. Together, they are a force that the WNBA office has never had to reckon with. Cathy Engelbert is under more pressure than any commissioner in sports history right now. There are rumors that her tenure might end after these negotiations, whether a deal is reached or not. The players have made it clear they don't trust her, they don't feel seen by her. And in a league that's 90% black women, having a leadership that is perceived as out of touch and dismissive is a recipe for total collapse. So here's the final insider prediction. The league will wait until the very last minute to make a real offer. They will try to scare the players with the threat of lost wages, but the players are already talking to investors for a potential alternative season. They're looking at the success of Unrivaled and realizing they hold all the cards. The 2026 season might not start on time, and if it does, it'll be under a completely different economic reality. The era of the WNBA players being grateful for scraps is over. They aren't just at the table, they're ready to flip it. If you want to know what is really happening inside those closed-door meetings, you need to stay tuned to Basketball Spilled. We're tracking every flight, every liked tweet, and every locker room leak. The WNBA soap opera is no longer just about who's dating who or who's beefing on the court. It's a battle for the soul of the game, and right now, the players are winning the war of nerves. The silence from the league office in the last 48 hours is deafening. Usually, they're quick to put out press releases about growth and exciting things to come, but now it's all quiet. That tells you the negotiations are not going well. It tells you the 98% vote caught them off guard. They thought they could buy the players off with a few more charter flights and a small bump in the minimum salary. They didn't realize the players are coming for the whole pie. As we wait for the January 9th deadline, keep your eyes on the players' personal accounts. That is where the real news breaks. When you see a group of stars all posting the same orange square or the same union slogan at the same time, you know the strike is officially on. The WNBA is at a breaking point, and the explosion is going to be felt across the entire world of sports. We're going to keep digging into the financials and the personal beasts that are fueling this fire. Because in the WNBA, the personal is political, and the political is expensive. If you think this deep dive was intense, you need to see our next investigation into the locker room secrets the league tried to bury. Click the link in the description to see our Locker Room Confidential report. The truth is coming out, whether the league likes it or not.